for people that maybe are questioning, should I do this? There's no reason not to. I mean, it's really silly not to. I mean, especially you're having like a Black Friday sale.
Yes.
Right? They're going to spend money on boots and things that people don't need. And this is something that can affect them and help them for the rest of their lives. I mean, it's pennies and it's priceless. So.
Alrighty. Hi guys, today I'm talking to another one of my lovely Knockout Body people, and we're just gonna talk about the program. So, tell us a little bit about yourself. What's your name? How old are you? Where are you from? All that stuff.
Awesome. So my name is Liz, and I just turned 41.
Oh wow, you look so young.
It's the blue hair. And I'm from Pittsburgh.
Cool.
And actually, we just went to Canada this weekend and drove. You're from Hamilton, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we drove past, and I was like, I should tell her we're swinging past, and we should just drop in. But
oh my god, yeah, we could have done this in person. That would be so cool.
We could have. I didn't want to freak anybody out,
Like, I'm here. I know where you live. I'm in your town.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, from Pittsburgh. And that's it. I'm a school counselor. I work with kids in kindergarten through 5th grade. So got to have the energy up.
Yes. I know that's always like a big thing I focus on, like how it actually helps your life, like in terms of your job and all that fun stuff. Yeah. So the first question related to the program. So where were you like before starting the program? Like physically, mentally, any type of particular struggles you had?
So since probably age 12, I had issues with my weight. I had some bullying going on in school. Family members would make comments. So I have been on some sort of exercise and diet thing since I can remember. And it breaks my heart, like thinking back on it and knowing how many other young people are struggling right now. Which is one of the reasons that I find you so inspiring, because you're changing lives with what you do. And that's amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyway, so in college, I developed an eating disorder. There was over-exercising, there was starving, there was calorie limiting. And that was what I knew to be the only thing that worked was exercise, severely, limit calories and get smaller. So I worked my way through that in my early 20s and just became someone who would work out and watch calories and, feel very guilty if I overate. My weight kind of went up and down, fluctuated probably 20 to 30 pounds up and down, but always doing some kind of exercise. Like Taibo in the 90s came out, and I was doing the kickboxing and just whatever was the newest thing. Beachbody stuff came out. I was doing that. Always into something. Keto, Atkins in the early 2000s came out with the high carb or high fat, low carb. I'm always into something.
Yeah.
So fast forward to like the last decade or so, I got healthier mentally, I think, and just worked on having a stronger body and not just losing weight or being skinny or being a certain size or something like that. So the past few years, I have been working out with a gym called 9 Round, where they have kickboxing classes. And I have felt stronger, and that was great. But I've never had anything nutritionally that was stable and sustainable. It was always restrict, get smaller, and then try to maintain that and not be able to maintain that. And, a cycle of guilt and whatever. So struggles, sorry, that was a long story.
That's okay. No.
Struggles for me would have been and still are something that's sustainable for my life, that it doesn't feel like I'm constantly dieting, that I can go out with friends, I can still do things and be a real person, but also feel good and look good and be healthy.
Wow, that's awesome. Yeah. So yeah, that sounds so much like my story. Were you skeptical before starting the program? Like were there any like doubts? Were you like, no, no, no?
Yeah, well, I followed you on Instagram for a while before I even thought about, jumping in. And then when Knockout Body 2.0 came out, I was like, maybe it's time to start thinking about it. And how many posts do I have to see of you saying you can do this, you can do this, you can do this, or showing your progress and showing your struggles? It I was skeptical because of the cardio, just hearing and seeing you and seeing other people. And I always thought cardio was the key to losing any kind of fat. So I really I was at a place. Well, I started in September. I think I bought the program in August, but we had vacations and stuff going on, so I just waited. But I was at a place physically where I felt like if I experimented a little bit with something, I'd be okay if my weight went up or down a little bit. Like I was comfortable in my clothes. I wasn't really down on myself. So I thought, let's give it a try and see what happens. So, but it was mostly like all of this lifting, not a huge focus on cardio. Is this possible? So it was more of like an experiment for me, but I was skeptical, I do have to say.
That's so interesting. So like, did you right away just like cut out a bunch of cardio then? I'm assuming, and how
Yeah.
did that go?
So what my schedule used to be, I would work out after school at the gym. And it was this kickboxing gym. So they didn't have like barbells or dumbbells. They had some smaller weights for some strength training aspects to the workouts. But I joined like a regular gym for your program. And it was so crazy busy after school. So my husband gets up at like 4 to go to work. So I started getting up at 4 and going to the gym. And I found that once I get the workouts in after school, I just cannot add anything else in other than what is listed on the workouts. So that little bit of cardio, the warm-up cardio, has been the only cardio I've done for the last 9 weeks.
Wow.
And
Have
I've
you,
seen
like,
really great results.
yay! That's what I was wondering. I was like, how did it go? What happened? What happened? So I guess that was kind of like leads us into the next like question. Like, what kind of results have you seen so far?
So my strength is up. I feel super strong. I see muscle definition where I never saw muscle definition before. I would describe myself as pear-shaped. I've always had, the butt and the thighs. My whole family has like sausage arms, the women in our family. There's never any kind of muscle definition. So I've got some in through my shoulders and up here. I know you can't see it now, but I've got some stuff going on here that I didn't have before.
Yeah.
My waistline has come in. Everything is smaller, and I went down a pant size. And I'm trying to think of what else. I lost 5 pounds, and I wasn't even looking to lose weight. And I know that that's not a huge indicator of success, but I was interested to see with the lifting. That was one of my personal experiments. Is the weight going to go down? And it did.
Yeah, that is interesting because if you especially like had you done much lifting before, or was it more like the cardio based stuff?
It was more cardio, a little bit of strength, resistance stuff, but nothing like heavy weights.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. See, it's like interesting because the odd person will like obviously see the scale go up even though they've like leaned out, but it's cool that you still actually, I mean, again, like we said, it's not like it matters the actual scale, but that's cool you still actually saw it go down.
Yeah. And with my crazy history of like wanting to see numbers, that definitely was reinforcing in a good way.
Yeah.
But still the visible things that I can see and the way my clothes fit would have been enough without that.
Yeah, exactly. What was I gonna say? I know, yeah, I could totally relate to the thing about the arms. Like, my mom is always like, "Yeah, this is from your grandma. We have such bad arm genetics." And I used to be like, there was this one time we were all out for dinner for like me and my cousin's birthday, and they took a picture of us, and I was like, "My arm looks like a leg. It's so big." Like, yeah, yeah, fun time. In terms of like your mindset, like, were there any big shifts, like even like with like the food? I know obviously for the lifting you learned like that you don't have to do a crazy amount of cardio, but just kind of in general, were there any like mindset changes in a positive way or?
I would say for the nutrition, what was really helpful to me was just focusing on protein and, the deficit and
Yeah,
making sure that the weekly deficit was there. I do indulge a lot on the weekends, and and I don't track, which is terrible, but I make sure, and it's usually Saturday, just
yeah,
Saturday.
yeah.
Sometimes it bleeds into Sunday a little bit, but Monday through Friday, it's always on track. And what was I trying to say about that? That I always get my protein in, even if I know I'm going to be doing anything else, because I've learned that from you, from watching so many of your videos and posts about that. Get your protein in, make sure you plan around if you know something's coming up and you're going to be overindulging, maybe cut a little bit off, the days leading up to it, not so that you're starving, but so that you're ready to go.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I love this. That's awesome. And that's the good thing too. Like if you see that you're still seeing results despite not tracking on the weekend, then you know you're fine. It's kind of sometimes just like a little bit of trial and error. Like it's like, well, I'm still seeing results, so I guess it works. So
Yeah, yeah. Well, and at the same time, like I feel like that gives me room to to push it. Like I wanted to see how it went the first round, and now I'm like, okay, what things can I push since I'm comfortable with the program, I know what's going on. How can I challenge myself?
yeah. Oh yeah, so have you done the full program once or did you repeat, like I know some people repeated block one twice, or how have you gone through it?
I did block 1 and then block 2, and I did a deload week.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Where are
Yeah.
you now? Just still in block, redoing block one, or?
I am. Tomorrow is day 4 of block 1, week 1.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
And just out of curiosity, did you switch up any of the exercises, or did you just keep it the same?
Not yet. I
Yeah.
haven't switched
Definitely
anything
so
up just
now.
yet.
Yeah.
For people that maybe are questioning, should I do this? There's no reason not to. I mean, it's really silly not to. I
Oh,
mean, especially you're having like a Black Friday sale,
yes.
right?
Alright.
They're going to spend money on boots and things that people don't need. And this is something that can affect them and help them for the rest of their lives. I mean, it's pennies
Yeah.
and it's priceless. So,
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Oh, oh, like, oh. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't handle it. Yeah.
it's true though. It's true. It's really amazing. And if people, I mean, I joke that like it almost seemed too easy, which sounds dumb because there was a lot of work that went into it. And getting up is that early is not easy.
Yeah.
But there hasn't been a day where I got up and was like, oh crap, this is what I'm doing right now. I get up and I'm like, I'm going to the gym. It's going to be so much fun because it is so much fun. And like the gym guys that were there have now finally kind of started to welcome me and, say good morning, which is amazing. And one guy came up one day and was like, I had my earbuds in and he was like motioning to take my earbuds out and like, oh, okay.
Mhm.
And he's like, I just wanted to tell you that I see you come in here in the mornings and you just get down to business. You have a really great work ethic. And I was like, wow.
That's amazing. I remember like having people say that too, and it's like, oh, really? Thank you. Like it's good. It's like a nice
Yeah.
encouragement for sure.
But like that
Um,
other people notice, and I've got my little notebook and I'm writing down my reps and my RPs and all this stuff.
yeah, yeah. Oh, I love it. You're like the model person. The model student. Like, I'm so
If
happy.
you're gonna do it, you might as well try to do it right.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. And like,
And you've laid it out perfectly. So kudos to you.
Well, thank you. I was gonna say too, like, I feel like with the getting up that early, like, I think there was another person that said the same thing. I think she started waking up exact same time. It's like you kind of get used to it. Like at first it sounds like crazy and you're like, oh my God, 4. But then like you're kind of like adapt and you're just like, yeah, it works. It works. It's all right.
It
So,
does. And then
yeah,
you just go to bed a little bit earlier and it's
yeah,
not that big of a deal.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Like I know like years ago, I sucked at waking up early. And I think if you had told me that in the future I'd be waking up at 4, like I wouldn't believe it. And now here I am,
Same.
no problem. So it's like anyone can do it eventually. It's just like over time, just you adapt. So
Yeah.
yeah. Well, that's awesome. Thank you so much. This was